movement. You gotta be able to get outside reach block, stretch running game, wide zone, um, as opposed to Landon Dickerson, big power, straight ahead, second level. Um, but Howie also said guys who can displace people are never going to be out of style. So,
John, I'm gonna. I don't think the Eagles draft a quarterback this year.
oh, they might.
They might, of course. They might. They normally do, but I don't think they will. I'm just looking at the board. Like, I think the guys they would like would go in round 4, maybe, and then after probably I don't know Drew Aller, Nussmeier, Carson Beck. After those guys are gone, I mean, you want to go?
Well, I don't know who they like.
Sawyer Robinson, Cole Peyton, Taylon Green. I don't. I think they're good with Dalton, Tanner, and Jalen.
I will say this: Cole Peyton is way higher than people think.
Really?
That's my guarantee. He's going to be. Okay. He's going to be in the conversation to be the 3rd quarterback drafted.
Wow, really?
Yeah. NFL people like him more than draft people.
Super mobile,
Now it's a bad quarterback. It's a bad quarterback class. So they might be reaching, trying to find something. But yeah, I don't like any of these guys. I if you're asking me, but I draft them, no, I wouldn't draft a quarterback this year. But will they? You need 4. You need camp eyes. They may go undrafted. They're going to bring in a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with the camp ice thing. I just don't think they do. I don't think they do it in the draft. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, they got 9 picks. I mean,
well, yeah, but if you get, they could use it at, in the 5th or the 6th. But
if you like Taylon Green, for instance, and you're not going to mess with wanting to go the undrafted route. So if he's there in the 6th round, you take him and throw him in the program, so to speak, and see what happens.
He's huge, Taylon Green. You just said 6'6", 230. He's a fucking big dude, man.
Yeah. Clearly a developmental guy. That's why I bring him up.
Right.
I wouldn't mind wasting a 6th round pick on him, putting him on the practice squad and see what happens. See if Parks Frazier can do his magic. But boy, I don't like any of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I said I don't know that they'll draft one this year. Maybe they will. I mean, normally they do. I understand I'm in the wrong. Most likely.
Oh, they like to draft a quarterback every year, but if
remember they're also paying $3-4 million to their 3rd string right now. So I don't know. Do they continue to drop cash or to drop valuable drop assets there? I don't know.
Well, as soon as you move Tanner McKee, all of a sudden that's cost-effective backup.
Yeah, there you
go. Things happen quickly. I'm not saying they're going to trade him, and I wouldn't trade Tanner McKee, to be honest.
If you got offered a 2nd round pick, you're probably trading him, right?
Oh yeah, but I'm not getting.
I don't think they're going to offer that, but yeah.
No. If Mac Jones can't get you a 2nd round pick, Tanner McKee's not getting you a 2nd round pick.
Mac Jones can't get a 2nd round pick?
Well, no,
I thought he would, man. You're right though. If Mac Jones isn't done, Tanner McKee, you're lucky to get a 3 for Tanner McKee. You're probably looking at a 4.
The Jets, we're only talking about the Jets, who are an awful organization. And, San Francisco, Houston, the Eagles were all asking for 2nd round picks for Mac Jones, Davis Mills, and Tanner McKee. And of that group, I'm sorry, Tanner's in 3rd place. Now, they didn't want to give up a 2nd round. It's a bad organization. Remember, that factors into it. New GM, so you got to give him a chance. But I would have traded for Mac Jones. But I like Mac Jones. I'm a Mac Jones guy. I think Mac Jones might be better than Brock Purdy secretly. But I said the same thing about Sam Darnold. People laughed at me. Now they're not laughing at me. I think Mac Jones is better. Now he's got to get in the right spot, and the Jets are probably in the right spot, so it wouldn't have worked out anyway, if you look at it from that standpoint. But if he gets in the right spot for his next opportunity, Mac Jones is going to be a good starting quarterback.
I agree. All right, John, pretty good draft deep dive there in the first hour of our show today. I want to welcome and thank everybody for being here. Don't forget to hit that like button for us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Big thanks to Fritz and Bianculli's Law Firm for sponsoring the program today. Interesting in the NFL draft, John, all this talk, and it brings me full circle on what we talked about in about the first 10 minutes of the show today, where a lot of needs on the team. I think what is a lot of value in rounds 2, 3, and 4 of the NFL draft this year. Do you want to trade one of those third-round picks for Jonathan Grenard? I know you need an edge rusher, but shit, man, Howie might be holding on to those picks this year where he feels like he's got to reload that offense and also a little bit of defensive picks probably as well, too.
Well, and I don't want to pick on Romelo Haidt, who's the Texas Tech edge rusher. And the only reason I bring him up is because the Eagles are bringing him in for a 30 visit.
Right.
That came out yesterday. Now, Romelo Haidt is 6'2 3/4, 239 pounds. What does that sound like?
It sounds like who? Nolan Smith?
Exactly. And to a lesser, Jalix Hunt, obviously a little
Hunt's
bit
a little bigger, right? Hunt's what, 6'5"?
No, he's 6'3". He's longer. He's got long arms, so it helps. He's not quite as tall as people think he is, but he's got long arms. So it looks like he's got a big wing. He does have a big wingspan. That's why part of the reason he's got such a huge upside. And Ebiketti's undersized. And now you're bringing in another one? I saw this and I'm like, what are we doing here? Now, from the standpoint of, and boy, people really emphasize Vic Fangio with the drops and the flat defender on the edge.
Oh,
and amazing. I get it. I'm the one who's potentially taught people to think that way, but it's not. He doesn't do it nearly as often as
I know. People, you're right though. People talk about it like it's the first need.
Yeah, I'm like that's like secondary, way down the list. But so he's confident doing that.
Tertiary, secondary. It's not even secondary. Things like, what's the word for fourth?
Yeah, exactly. So, and he's he's an explosive guy. I'm sure he's going to be a good player. He's got 39-inch vertical. He's got the great broad jump. He can, he's athletic, like everybody's athletic now. But I mean, so you're talking about a third-round pick with Jonathan Grenard. First of all, that's a no-brainer. I can't imagine. But again, they don't have a GM. That is a no-brainer for Jonathan Grenard. The only problem is you got to pay him. But and again, I'm talking. So you're talking third round. That's the kind of edge rusher you might get on the third round. You might get him on the third round, and you might not because he's so athletic. Somebody might fall in love with him in the second round. He might not even be there. And not to mention, he's like one of those 6-year COVID guys. He's coming in at 25, 26, whatever. It's like, this is the kind of prospect you're talking about in the third round. Like, I don't know why people value draft picks so much. I really don't. Like, you're a Super Bowl team. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're a shitty team, yeah, keep your picks. If you're a Super Bowl contender and you need an edge rusher and you got a ready-made edge rusher landing in your lap and you're saying, well, I'd like to have Romelo Haidt in 2028. Sorry, I'm not on board with that. But, man, people hold on to their draft picks like grim death.
I agree with you, especially for great teams. I mean, I've said this. I think teams are maybe a little bit too in love
Wes
with it.
Snead, man. Fuck them picks.
I know. I feel like there's, like most things in life, there's a gray area you want to be. When you're in an opportunity to go and win Super Bowls, I think you got to be aggressive. When you need to rebuild and retool, I think you got to get those picks and get cheap and get smart. So we'll see what ends up happening with it, John.